Hi, it's James from Hidden Depths Coaching. My Monday clip today. What I thought I would talk about is, this feeling of feeling worthy, about feeling worthiness about who you are as a person. And one of the things I'd like to add to that is it's one of the one things that can never ever be decreased is your worthiness. But a lot of people don't feel worthy. And the reason that is because of events in your life starts to take you to a place of doubt and worry, and then that worry will end up making you feel very anxious about stuff. And when you stay in that between worry and anxiety for so long, then you end up feeling like you're not worthy. And it's one of the things that if you say to somebody, it's the first thing that kind of say, I don't feel worthy enough. And it's one of the things that's really a bit of a lie, because you can never ever be unworthy. And the way I've described that before is, this is currency and it's worth £20. And if I crumple it up, it's still worth £20. In fact, if I stand on it, trample it, do whatever I want to it, it's still worth £20. And this currency is a bit like a human being, right? So in your life, you're going to go through things, going to be maybe trampled on, going to be crumpled up, whatever's going to happen to you, but one thing will never ever change, and it's the value of who you are. So no matter what you've been through in your life, you can't ever lose this value. But I mentioned this to a client who said something that was really, really crucial. And it says, 20 years ago, I would have got a lot more for that than what I do now. And that got me thinking about why we've got such a problem just now with things like, I know it's Mental Health Awareness Day today, but why we've got such a problem with so many people feeling like with anxiety and feeling depressed. And I ended up with anxiety and depression myself, but if I look back on my life, I really had to do some massive stuff to get that to build up. So back then, 20, 30 years ago, life wasn't as tough as what it is now. And when you were growing up back in that day, it was, your toughness was go and join judo or boxing or karate or taekwondo, or, you done something physical to toughen yourself up, but we never done much mentally and emotionally. And I think maybe 20, 30 years ago it wasn't as important as it is now. And I'd probably say emotional fitness now is more important than physical fitness now, because just because you are maybe physically strong, it doesn't mean to say you're going to be emotionally strong. And that's the bit that's really holding people back. If you think about 20 years ago, and that's what I'm saying, that £20 was still £20 20 years ago, but you got so much more from it. And that's a bit like life, everything just now with things like social media. If you can remember maybe 20, 30 years ago, and maybe, something happened that you were getting a bit of slagging for it, or getting a bit of a hard time for it. I remember back then that would happen, and then, you would just wait it out. That's what you used to say. You used to say, I wonder how long this is going to last. I wonder how long. And then you would actually, believe it or not, just wait till somebody else messes up. Once somebody else messes up, then it'll be like passing the baton on to them, and then they can get ridiculed for a wee while, and then somebody else will do it. But the thing is, what kids have got to grow up with now, they do one thing wrong, and it's shared with thousands of people. I don't know about you, but when I was kind of growing up, you had about maybe a dozen friends, and that was really, that was you doing really well. Now you've got, 1,000 friends on Facebook. You've got this extrapolated thing. And what's happening is, it's not that the value is worth any less anymore, it's just we don't really get as much for our money anymore. And that's a bit like ourselves, we don't get as much for who we are now. And that's why this emotional fitness is probably one of the most important things you'll ever do in your life. And we talk about bullying that's going on just now. There's a lot of bullying going on with kids, and it seems to be all like kind of cyber bullying. There is a bit of physical bullying, but I think that the vast amount of it, I had a young lad lost his life last last week, and it was all due to, you know, complete, you know, cyberbullying. And what I'm saying is it's going to be very hard for us to say, like, let's just have a word with our kids and stop this happening, because the kind of momentum's so strong with it. So that's why I think the only thing you can do is toughen up for it. And there is some tricks, there is some stuff that you can do that can kind of change your focus, and, you know, maybe, you know, if you're looking for a way to help your kids without even knowing there's a problem. And the first thing is, the last 10 minutes before you sleep is very important, right? Because it starts to reprogram your subconscious patterns, which basically take up over 90% of what you do. You know, mostly what we do is subconscious. So, you know, that last 10 minutes starts to plant these seeds. So let's look at it this way: whether you're a kid that's started to get bullied, or you're a kid that's bullying, right? If you keep getting this reinforced to you that last 10 minutes, so say before your kids are going to sleep, you just let them know how important they are, and, you know, how they're going to get through this bit, whatever it is, and how, you know, it really starts, you know, once you start working, once you start just keeping them moving forward, keeping them looking, speaking to them, talking to them, asking them how they're feeling. And, you know, a lot of kids don't want to open up. So that's why if you just keep telling them just small things. And, you know, I've worked with, like, adults my age, older, and even, like, telling them small things, like how important they are, you know, and they notice how much they wanted to hear that when they were maybe 7, 8, 10, 13, whatever age. So I believe it will work both ways. Because I believe if you're a kid and you're thinking about bullying another kid, I don't think you do that when you feel good about yourself. I don't think kids feel good about themselves getting bullied other kids. Because I believe once you get to a place of how you feel, when you know your real worth, I don't think you would do anything like that. And I think a lot of this stuff happens through peer pressure, people egging them on, and then it gets extrapolated. And that's one of the things that this era is doing, it just extrapolate things. I'll be honest with you, if camera phones and all that were about when I was younger, I don't think I'd be a life coach, because there's a lot of things that took me a while to go over personally, and if that was, you know, spread across social media, it'd just be absolutely horrendous. But we can't change the era we're in. What we can do is change our approach to it, and we've got to have more of an approach on emotional fitness, clearing things out. So my advice for adults and kids, but especially kids, you know, because they're so receptive right now, just make sure that last 10 minutes, just start telling them good things, start getting them to look towards good things, even if it is the kid that's on the verge of becoming a bully, because it will work both ways. If that kid's like that, it might actually start thinking about it and go, you know what, that's not really what I want to do. But you're never ever going to drive it out by making an example of the bullies. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't think they bully people when they feel good about themselves. I think they feel completely shit about themselves, and it's their way of controlling that not feeling good enough. They don't want to go to it, so they start getting angry, and then that anger builds up, and then they want to take it out on somebody else, and when they take it out on somebody else, they get a temporary relief. So yeah, that would be the biggest thing for me, is make sure that last 10 minutes before you sleep, you're really programming in good thoughts, because it's no getting easier out there. And the good thing about social media is, as much as it's extrapolating all this negativity, you can use it to extrapolate good. You know, and I heard a wee speech for Justin Timberlake last week, which was just beautiful, and that's what I'm saying, that's something that can get shared for thousands and millions of people. And he just said how, you know, how he was weird and different growing up, and now, you know, he's making a difference because of that weirdness and that being a bit different. And that's what I'm saying, sometimes just hearing that, just, you know, and I reckon even the kids that are out there bullying people, I think if they knew how worthy they were, they wouldn't do that. So that's the message from Hidden Depths, and it's on Mental Health Awareness Day today. So if we're going to stop this, we've got to catch it early. That's the thing, you know. So much things we can do to get us when we're adults, but we've made it through it. Let's make sure, because I'll be honest with you, the way things are getting extrapolated right now, kids need this as much as when I was growing up you needed a martial art or go to boxing just to protect yourself. We need this emotional fitness just to protect herself now. Alright, listen, that's quite a long message today, but it is a really important one. But just remember, your worth can never ever be took from you, no matter what's happened to you. It can never be took from you. But your confidence and your self-esteem can. But unfortunately, that's like a muscle, and you must build that muscle back up. And the best way to build it back up is that last 10 minutes before you go to sleep, just start programming in the better thoughts. And then you'll wake up and you'll just feel like doing better. And then the more you do that, you'll get caught in that habit. And I believe in attraction, so you keep on that path and you'll start attracting good things into your life. Alright, listen, this is the message. I've got a 2-day workshop in about 3 weeks, I think. 22nd, 23rd. No, isn't it? 29th and 30th. So that's the last one with tickets, and I think there's only 5 tickets left for that. So if you've been on your journey and you want to extend it a bit with Hidden Depths, then that's the seminar for you. And listen, have a good week, and remember, know your worth. It can never be took for you. Alright, bye-bye.